second here. And we're just for the viewers, we're kind of trying to limit the callers to one question each because this show will be an hour long instead of an hour and a half, so we're cutting everything short. Starting our next show, we'll be back to an hour and a half show. So, but anyway, so let's move on to this next caller. He's going to introduce himself, but his main question is, his name is Achada from the Netherlands. His ultimate question is, how do we know Judaism is true and Islam is not? So I'm gonna let him present it himself. Okay, Achada, go ahead with your question, sir.
Oh, sorry?
Yeah, turn your computer down if you don't mind, and then go ahead with your question. You're live on the air.
Sure. So, thanks for accepting my call, Rabbi. And,
Sure.
well, I have listened to you for probably over 500 hours at this point. Yeah, so how can I summarize it very briefly? I've also tried to contact many synagogues. I've sent them emails. I've got like no replies, unfortunately. And well, basically, I've went through Islam, I've went through Christianity, but only because some friends like told me to become a Christian while I was in Poland. At that point, I did not even know that like they thought Jesus was a man. So it was just like I didn't know. So, but my main question is, I'm struggling because I was also a Muslim. Like, how can I be sure that Judaism is the truth compared to Islam? Because, as you know, if you take the Shahada, then like you're a Muslim for life, and that would mean like you have eternal, like that you go to hell, and that's like my bury. Like I considered becoming a Jew, but I didn't go to the synagogue yet.
Right.
As I told you, I'm a.
I got all that. I apologize for interrupting you. What's always very important is to go back to TaNaCh, to go back to the Hebrew Bible. Does that make sense to you? After all, right, Moses was a great prophet. He was the greatest of all the prophets, right? So all you do is to go back to TaNaCh. And every claim, and in particular, fantastic claims, require fantastic evidence. In the case, if we're talking within the Abrahamic religious system, so they all have to be consistent with the Hebrew Bible, with TaNaCh. So you have to ask the question, are the mitzvot forever? All claims must be verified by the Hebrew Bible. It's just really that simple. Okay? I don't know if I've answered your question, but just it's not how a religion makes you feel. It's what does TaNaCh say? That's all. And be careful that when claims are made by any religion, those claims must be, if they're fantastic claims, they must be tested by the Hebrew Bible. If that's not the case, then it's just whatever religion makes you feel good, whatever religion gets you to stop drinking and do drugs or whatever that is. Every religion clearly gives people a feeling of peace and happiness and so on. Clearly you find just very happy, transformed people in every religion in the world. So therefore you just want to do is you want to say, okay, here is the claim of any religion, like the central core claim, and you want to just ask, okay, and you want an explicit answer. Like, so I'm wearing a garment with four cornered garment, right? It says this in the Torah. We keep Shabbos in the Torah. We believe in one God and there's no other in the Torah. Now, Islam and Judaism are religions that share many fundamental beliefs in common. But if you're asking that question, you just have to ask, where is it explicitly in TaNaCh, in the Hebrew Bible? That's all. The greater the claim, the more evidence you need. It can't be just an inference. It's got to be very clearly in the Bible. That's what. If you don't bother writing to synagogues; they're not going to write back about that. It's just very easy. TaNaCh, where is it? That's it. Okay.
Rabbi, what are some of the biggest contrasting differences between Islam and Judaism?
The biggest contrasting differences are nothing like Christianity, because Muslims do worship one God, genuinely are radical monotheists. The contrasting difference is that Muslims believe that Muhammad was a prophet, not just any prophet, but a Rasul, meaning he came with a Sharia, a written message, which Muslims have come to believe is contained in the Quran. That's huge. Another very important element is that Muslims believe that the Torah, the ritual commandments, no longer have to be kept, observed, that the covenant that God made with the Jews is no longer. Now, there are Muslims who have different views on this. So there are Muslims, I don't know the percentage, there are Muslims that believe, I know, and many of you know, but they don't talk about it, who believe that TaNaCh is intact and we do not have a corrupt text. The Hebrew Bible is not corrupt. I would say 90% of Muslims believe that it has been corrupted. So that's, once one says that the Hebrew Bible has been corrupted, so then we have a bigger problem because we have nothing to talk about. Say with a Christian, we can have a very easy conversation because the Christian believes that the Hebrew Bible is the Word of God and has not been corrupted. But if you say that the TaNaCh is corrupted, which to the Jews is the most, that's the part that bothers Jews. I'll just say to my Muslim friends that the thing, if Muslims believe that a certain person is a prophet, that's not us, it's not a, to say TaNaCh has been corrupted. Now, there is, as an example, a one-letter difference in Deuteronomy, which I don't know the answer why there's a one-letter difference in the Torah between the Yemenite Torah. We'll find out very soon when Mashiach comes. But to say TaNaCh has been corrupted by the Jews, that's, I mean, we have the Dead Sea Scrolls. I mean, while there are mistakes in the Dead Sea Scrolls, it demonstrates that the Masoretic text is very, 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 very much intact. So these are very, very big differences. Is the covenant of God? Now, I should say there are Muslim thinkers that believe that the covenant that God made with the Jews is intact, and there are Muslim scholars that do. They're a minority of a minority. They do believe that. I can think of an Italian Muslim theologian who believes that. But they are very, very much in the minority. But whatever claim Islam has that differs with Judaism, we would have to say, what are your sources? And if the claim is sort of an inference, that's not strong enough. That the Torah, I mean, do you have to keep Shabbos? Torah says it's forever. Muslims don't believe that if a Jew becomes a Muslim, they have to keep Shabbos. So then it becomes a non-starter. So Judaism does not respect other religions. We're not eclectic. Despite what you hear, if you read the Ten Commandments, it's very clear that there's very little room for other religions. But Islam is a monotheism. They believe that one must appeal to God's mercy for the forgiveness of sin. And those are things that we genuinely admire. The differences are significant, nowhere near as significant as our difference with Christianity. It's not even in the same universe. But the Muslim has to ask the question, if he believes in TaNaCh, I need evidence for this. And, that you'll have to look for that. But those are the big differences.
Guys, hit that like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, go to Rabbi Singer's channel as well, and also don't forget his 2-volume book set, Let's Get Biblicals, Volume 1 and 2. The audio files are available, but the CDs are not, but they're available on his website.
The MP3. Let me say, I want to just one other thing
Go
for
ahead.
you guys. Listen carefully. Pay no attention to that man. No, listen to me. It's so important. If you believe in the work that William is doing, that we're doing here, whenever you watch any of our videos, please like it and please share it. It's very important because it really affects the algorithm. so that our videos are spread around. So really, it's very, very important that whenever you see a video of William, a video of mine, it's very important to like it. If you, I mean, I hope we like it.
Yeah.
But if you do, don't just pass it. Just make sure you like it and make sure that you subscribe to channels, because it really has a very big impact on spreading Torah throughout the world. It's very, very important. You should really go through our videos and make sure that those videos that you haven't liked yet, you do like them. It really has a very, very big impact on spreading this message. Anyway, shalom.
Yeah. And commenting on them also helps generate views as well, so it kind of refreshes them on the system. So, Rabbi, thank you. Great show, and we'll see you, Hashem willing, same time, same place next week. Shalom, everyone. Bye.
If you enjoy this channel and the content, and it has changed your life, or perhaps the life of a loved one or a close friend, would you please consider supporting this work? You can click this link and it'll take you directly to my website with the donate button. Or there's a Patreon link and a mailing address for snail mail if you would prefer. If you do donate, please do me a favor and leave me a phone number where I can contact you and thank you properly. I hope you all have a wonderful 2025. Shalom.